Hey guys, it's been a long time since I produced a car video here for Diecast stuff. So I figured what better way to get back into it than jump back into doing a painted pink challenge that the Three Blind Mice have done annually now. I guess this is the third or fourth year. So what you're seeing right now is my entry from last year, just to cover some bases. So that was what I entered last year for the Painted Pink Challenge. So this year, in the interest of saving some time, and in the interest of doing something where I'm actually taking a car that I had already done, but had some very, very unfortunate mishaps towards the end during the finishing of the car. I'm choosing to redo this custom gasser. So while it did come out pretty cool, if you really get close, there were some issues when I was putting the decals on, some bubbling, there was some paint chips, there was some bubbling of the clear, there were some boogers that got in there. But it's a very cool car, and I acquired some cool decals and things, and we're just going to redo this car. And with that said, let's get started. All right, so first things first is we're going to separate our body, and seeing as this car was already done, and now I can't find the screwdriver. This car was already done. I already made the I had already drilled it out, drilled out the posts and all that good stuff. So this is just a matter of disassembly now for this. I will not have to go through that whole process of doing the posts and all of that good stuff. So there's our body. This was the only painted areas that really stayed. I ended up doing this in a flat black, and then I just put some of that tire shine stuff to make the upholstery look a little leathery and vinyl-y, or however you want to call it. Where am I going here? There we go. So this is going to stay intact. The wheels will stay intact because I just like those gasser wheels that I put on there. This, however, gets a dip. So let's start there. And you guys know the drill by now, watching all of our channels. Into the juice, and I will let that sit. I'm actually going to let it sit overnight and do my little trick. Watch the channel, you know that I don't leave it sit overnight standing up. I try and use a minimal amount of paint remover or paint stripper. So by putting it on its side, putting it in a little container just in case something doesn't leak all over your table or wherever you're setting your work. So we'll take the rest of our parts, our 2 screws and our interior and bottom panels, and get them set aside. And they will stay there until we're on to the next step. Hey guys, so through the magic of magic, here is our body after it was removed from the stripper and then polished several times with a heavy buff and some Blue Magic metal polish cream. So this is what I'm going to work with. We're going to go with the old school style Spectra Flame paint job on this car. So come to find out, when I was looking through my paint, this is my own version of Spectra Flame. I made a video on this last year sometime. So I don't have any of the Redline Shop pink. I made this pink myself. Go back and watch the video. Look for it in my channel. Basically, what I'm doing is using this American Automotive Imperial High Gloss Clear Coat as the base to make this paint. And what I'm doing is taking gel pens and removing the insert, and then let's see if I can get some clear in here. I'm going to refill this. I really have no formula other than just if you've used Spectraflame paint before, sometimes it takes several light coats in order to achieve the color density that you want. So if I want a dark pink, it may be 3 or 4 coats of paint to achieve what I want. So basically what I did to create this paint, and it does work. There's another video where I tested my own paint here. And again, not taking away from the Red Line Shop and their products. But if you can do it yourself and make something of equal, of equal value, that will actually work for you. Plus, it's fun to do stuff like that. So I'm making my own Spectraflame versions. And we just get this cleared up here. We get a little denatured alcohol on here and clean the top of this off. This is a urethane clear, so denatured alcohol will get rid of the gunkies that build up along your jars or bottles or what have you, and help keep you from being sticky. Because urethane, any urethanes, whether it's a fixed paint or a clear, they get sticky fast. So I do this. I fill my bottle, and then I pull the tip off of the pen. Yeah. Or I cut the tip off the pen. Let's see if we can just pull this off so I don't have to damage the tube. Ah, this is stuck on there. Pretty good. There we go. So pull the tip off. And basically, you can see the ink from the pen inside there. And you put your tube in your bottle and blow. And you can see the drops falling in. That's it. When you start running out, you run out. The gel pens usually come in 5 or 6 pack with several colors, and then you mix it up. This does look orangey, but I assure you it will come out pink. So I have a different pink, but it's very fluorescent-y, and I'm not sure if it was from a different style of gel pen. So I'm not sure. I'm still debating. Do I go with that? This it will be pink because we obviously used a pink pen. But these are the colors I've made so far. This is like the olive green. I got 2 versions of the olive green, and you can see they are translucent because they're sticking to the jar, but you can see through them. Obviously blue. Here is red, orange, and this is a deeper orange. So I'm thinking that maybe because my decals are transparent that I'm going to put on this car, I may go with this hot pinky color. So again, the American Clear, I figure I use the clear anyway for most of the models that I'm doing, whether it's a plastic model or the die cast. Even on my car, I actually did some repair work on my Corvette. There's a little spot paint that I need to do on the front bumper. This is the clear I used. It's amazing. I swear by this. And I actually got it in a kit. I'm pretty sure it came in a kit with the urethane activator, which is basically like the hardener that the Spectraflame paint uses. So you mix your color when you're actually going to paint. You put your paint in your bowl of your airbrush, and then a few drops of the activator for hardness. So it's the same concept, and maybe the Red Line shop maybe this is kind of the way they do it too. They just may use different products and tint and dye with different colors or different sources. They may use regular ink, they may use Indian ink, I'm not sure. But anyway, that's how I'm making mine. It does work. I'm happy with it. It's not the same level of coverage. I might have to do an extra pass. Like if I did 3 passes with Spectraflame pink, I might have to do 4 with my version. So that's how I'm going to do this. And we're going to get the spray booth out, or get the camera over to the spray booth. And I'm actually going to paint something in a video, which I've never done before, I don't think. So we'll be back in a second. All right, so we are set to go here. I did have to go and give the airbrush a good cleaning. It's been a while, so we are going to take some of our pink. You can see that looks pretty good. We're going to get enough pink in here. And that's good for that. And then we're going to take, I keep a small bottle of the activator handy, and we are going to take some activator and we're going to get a few drops in there. And then it's off to the races, boys and girls. So you're going to hear this, you can hear my booth fire up here. And unfortunately, it does make a racket. And here is our piece. All cleaned up. We got some denatured alcohol to clear off any residues and anything else. And she's ready to rock and roll. So we may be having some gun problems here, so I'm going to stop this and I'll be right back. Alright, so we kicked up the air pressure a little bit. I'm thinking that maybe that activator, because it sat for a while, was a little thick. So we're going to go for it now. give that a little bit time to dry, and I'm going to keep reapplying as needed. It looks like I did get a little booger in the paint there. It's a little spit from the gun, so I'm going to readjust that too. Next time you see this, it will be time for decals. Okay, we are back. So we're going to just show the application of one of these decals. I'm sure you've seen most of these before on all the channels that are out there. So here is our Spectra Flame Pink. I don't think it shows up quite as cool as it looks. You can definitely see that it is a shade of pink. So we're going to use the softening trick. Instead of submerging our decal, we're going to put it in our little wet paper towel and let it absorb some water through the backing. And just keep giving it a little test every now and then. Shouldn't take very long. And then we're going to apply it and use a little microsol solution on the top. Once it's on, let me get myself a fresh piece of paper towel and a couple of Q-tips. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab, just get the brush that I would use for the microsol. I'm just going to get some water on it and apply it to the top of the piece, so it helps assist in maneuvering the decal. So what I do is 2 steps. I start removing the decal from the paper in the back, and then I use a Q-tip to hold down my decal. And then I maneuver it a little bit to the spot that I want it. That water that was applied helps maneuver this a little bit. And then when I'm satisfied with the position, I'll use 2 tips, one to hold the piece and one to help squeegee the water from underneath, so the decal lies flat. Now you're going to have varying successes with this depending on where you get these decals from. I make my own with an inkjet printer and different decal papers that are available. Also buy them from a few places online. These I managed to get off of eBay. I forget who this seller was, but I was looking something for to help fight cancer, or breast cancer support. And it looks a little weird, but I kind of like it. So now that my my decal is attached, and make sure there's no more water left on my brush, I just dab off the water that I picked up before. And I get a little microsol. I dab off the excess, and then I apply it to the top of the decal so it helps it melt and shrink to the piece. That's really about it. And then it's pretty much lather, rinse, and repeat. And then once I'm done with the decal applying, I'm going to do some detail on the headlights, the taillights, my little master cylinder for the brakes. I'm going to get rid of this pink here. I'm going to probably paint that flat black, or maybe even gloss black, who knows. And then once my paint dries, I'm going to give it a coat of Imperial Clear, the clear coat, and call it done. So the next time you see this piece, it will be on the rotisserie, ready for a final reveal. All right, everyone. So here is the big reveal. I did run into a few issues though. One of them was with my my airbrush. So apparently there's some sort of flow problem. So I couldn't use the Imperial Clear that I normally use. I ended up having to use the Rust-Oleum Crystal Clear enamel from a rattle can to put the final coat on, which meant it's still not really super dry. So to reassemble everything, I had to break out the rubber gloves. But this is what I came up with. I actually found a donor car to replace the windscreen with a blue windscreen rather than the clear one that was in this car originally. And also had some troubles with my decals coming up on this side. You'll see it here. It says believe, but the I and the E between the E, it was so thin. The decals were so thin that I ended up rubbing them out a little bit and ended up with a little mushy spot in believe. Other than that, I think she looks pretty cool. And I like the light pink Spectra Flame job on this. And I like our little, I love our decal with our pinup girl and her ribbon tattoo. So that's it. I'm hoping to get back into producing some more videos soon. But I couldn't pass up the opportunity to get back in on this for the Painted Pink Challenge. I figured what a better way to get back into putting some of these customs and some of these, redos on some of the classic Matchbox cars. I couldn't figure, I couldn't pass it up. It's a better way to get into it than doing something for a good cause. And I can't wait to see everybody's work for this one. I'm going to try and get back into it regularly. I actually have another Corvette video coming up soon. Hopefully, I got some footage for redoing the clear coat wheels on the C4 Corvette. So, anyway, thanks to the Three Blind Mice for doing this every year. If anybody's interested in this car, I don't think it's worthy of actually putting it on eBay because of what happened with the decal on the side of the car here. But if anybody's interested in it, I would be more than happy to send it to someone if they wanted it. Especially if they know somebody, a friend or a family member that's been a survivor of breast cancer. There are several in my family and a few of my friends, so I know what it's like when they go through it. That's it for this one, guys. I appreciate everybody jumping in on these. Loving seeing, I just love seeing everybody's work and what they come up with. So hopefully you'll see some more of me and not only the Corvette, but the die-cast on the regular. And thank you to everybody for liking and subscribing so far to my channel. So hope to see you guys soon. Hope everybody's well. And I'll talk to you soon.